He is the chairman of BIDCO Africa and our chief guest speaker this evening, Mr. Vimal Shah. Kindly welcome and give us your insights on how BIDCO is impacting communities through sustainability. Welcome.
I think the stage is set for me not to read a speech, right? Joachim and I think John Mwendwa have set a tone, so I'm going to throw away my speech. Thank you very much to everyone here, and especially the organizers, right? So for really organizing a good beverage awards, excellence awards scheme, right? I think it's not about just winning. I think it's about participating. That the fact that you're in this room and you're participating, you are aiming for excellence. And I think that's why, to me, it's not important whether you win or lose. I think the key issue is you participated and you showed up and you all came here. So I think thanks a lot to every one of you coming here and, of course, the organizers for having a good show here. So let's give them a big hand. I think when we talk about sustainability, there's a big issue around this. We talk to 5 people, and every one of those 5 people have a different definition of sustainability. A lot of people talk about PPP, right? People, planet, profits, right? That's been the normal buzzword, right? So that's been talked about a lot, and talking about that is a lot of people then talk about the next P, and now we're mostly talking about plastics, the P in the room. So we were on in beverages, and I think plastics and P, that's a big P. And rightly, it's normally seen, sorry to say this by government, all protocols observed, sorry. The Esther Ngari, the CEO of KEBS, all colleagues from the industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I forgot the protocol. But I think the important thing here would be, what is a pest? And government's been seeing plastics as a pest. How many of you agree it's a pest? Madam Gari, have a look. No one, except for one in the corner there. Nobody agrees it's a pest. So I'm just going to speak about that and say, we've heard a lot about it. My office is next to the UNEP, and we hear UNEP. I go there many times and say, oh, we're going to ban plastics. Kenya is the first one who can ban all the plastics. Let's put a stop to this. And we did that for plastic bags. So really, we can do that for all plastics. And I think there's a big issue around this. It's not a pest. So I can speak about that because that's the planet. The key issue around this would be how you dispose of your plastic and how you throw it away in the environment. That's probably the big elephant in the room that we need to address. So that's something about the sustainability where we need to talk about how do we dispose of? Because it's not a single-use product. I can assure you that a lot of the plastics in this room today are recyclable. And the fact that they're recyclable, they can be reused, they can be reorganized, they can be put back to use 10 times. Correct me if I'm wrong, 10 or more times, and it can be done. The question is, are we doing it? That's where our problem is. And I think what talked about, or Joachim talked about, is about that. Again, the same thing that comes up is, are we protecting the planet by using that? So I guess when we talk about this, the big issue is around marine, and where it's thrown in the sea and dumped in the sea, you see a lot of fish and a lot of birds in them eating it. So I think the issue around this would be a law not to protect only environment and say, stop banning, stop plastics, put a big tax on it and put a lot of cost to the manufacturers. There'll be some slides coming through that you can see on, and I'm not going to speak about them. But I think the issue around this is, can we have a law that says when you dispose of in the house, you sort at source. You sort it at source, so you put your PET plastic separate, you put your HDPE separate, you put your metal separate, and you put your organics separate. If it sorts at source, if it was sorted out and it was illegal to throw it in the environment, we would not have an environment problem. So I'm just saying that this is one thing that you can look at and say, fine, here. Because the option is what? Aluminium cans? I think some people in the government are saying, oh, aluminium cans and glass, we're bringing back glass. You can see on my table there was only glass bottles, and we brought some PET bottles. But only glass bottles, because now we say glass is better. How many of you have used glass, I think, except for Coke? who uses glass a lot, but the glass uses a lot more environment unfriendly practices to clean up the glass, the water, the usage, and of course the cost to it. So when we look at from a competitiveness point of view of the industry or competitiveness of people, Joachim, you talked about it, that our consumer pocket is getting smaller. The innovative thing the government has done now is to attack the payroll. So then now there's about 12 to 13% of the payroll gone to housing levy, ex-levy, NSSF, NHIF. Nothing wrong with them, but the pocket has gone down. And when that happens, what happens? You have a suffering of beverages, you have a suffering of people not consuming as much. So I'm just saying, when you look at the whole economic cycle, this is something that we need to look at and look at sustainability in this case. So, to say that if we get your plastics recycled, if all the product was recycled, we don't have to replenish a lot. Now for that, and I'm going to speak about that, the whole PRO system that's been started off, congratulations to Petco, PacPro, KEPRO, who's the other one? There's a third one, SumPro, right? And there's a fourth one they're talking about, another pro coming up. PRO is a extended public responsibility organization. So I think this is something that we need some real work on. So, we were expecting that our minister would be here. We talk about this issue because I think it's important for us to look at this. We only need one PRO. In my opinion, we do not need 4 or 5 PacPros and KEPRos and all of them competing with each other to try and see how I can give more material to the recycler. I think we just need one, very solid, very strong, and collecting everywhere, all the plastics from everywhere, sorting at source, collecting it, and then let's recycle it. And let's encourage more and more recyclers. We could actually increase the number of jobs in this country by just looking at the recycling. The number of people in every county, every town, every place, just collecting all that plastic, putting it together, and saying, guys, come on, let's put it together, recycle it, we would actually harm the environment much more lesser. So, Madam Gari, I hope KEBS is going to take this up because I think you're going to be told, go and put your police and throw out all these manufacturers from manufacturing and kill them. I think we're going to be partners. So I'm going to talk about the next PP after this is positive partnerships. My version of sustainability is PPPP, 4 Ps. The first one, of course, is people. The second one is planet. And the third one is positive partnerships. We need to have, Joachim, you talked about it, we need to have collaboration. Now, collaboration doesn't mean that we stop competing with each other and start doing price fixing and start doing various other things. I'm talking about different things. I'm talking about collaborating on national issues, whereby we can actually work on this and as a government, as a private sector, as plastic processors, have positive partnerships that help in the whole establishment of this whole thing. Because if tomorrow it's collected from the environment and I collect a Coke bottle and I get it recycled, can I use that material? Can I use the recycled material, or it has to be only by Coke? I can. So the collaboration there is happening in any case, and I think that's important to do that. Second thing is reduce the amount that's going to waste. So I think a lot of stuff has been done, and I think the cap seal that we talked about earlier, a lot of us had trust in a bottle. The trust was only that seal. If that seal was not there, I would not trust a water bottle in the past, right? Or if the seal is broken, then that water may be contaminated. That trust level has now changed, and I think we've done a lot. But again, it's not regulated. It's not like it's got to be done by enforcement. This is done by inspiration. So still, we see a lot of people putting in those seals, and then you saw those seals are taken away. And when you go to conferences or even meetings, you see the plastic seal everywhere. I think that's going away. So we've done that even at BITCO. I'm not here to talk about what BITCO's done and what's not done. But these are things that have happened. We've helped in this environmental production. But at the same time, the climate conference talked about climate change and climate finance. If you want to unlock climate finance, reduce your footprint on plastics, you could go to lighter and lighter products. You could go to less usage. And believe you me, there is a possibility of getting carbon credits for that. So I think that's an area that collaboration is required by everyone to come together. Third thing is about planet. And I think planet means let's not throw things away. Not only these plastics that we do talk about, bottles, but also other HDB plastics, a lot of other good stuff that we have. Can we then make sure we recycle it? I don't know if you've heard of a system called pyrolysis. You can do pyrolysis of all plastics or even all wood and really make it into a fuel. That will energize all your cars. It's a bio oil, and that can be really energizing, producing energy too. So there's a lot of good stuff that comes in. I think in some creative countries in India, they're producing product for the roads, making roads out of plastics. So there's a lot of uses for these plastics that we talk about. But is that the only thing that's there? Is that the only problem? I think it's all about looking at the people here. And it's a culture or a shift in mindset, right? What do we normally do is I clean my house or myself and throw out the trash somewhere, right? It doesn't matter. At least my place is clean. And I throw it out of the window or somewhere. And that culture needs to change, where we throw trash away and then expect somebody, hey, city council, Wapi city council, collect this. It's your job. They go to a dumping site. If you go to the dump sites, we see a big eyesore where you've mixed up organics, you mixed up plastics, you mixed up metal, you mixed up, I don't know what, sofa sets or whatever it is. I think that's where we need to work together. Again, collaboration here. I visited a site in USA where there's a place in the city where there's a place where you actually take all your bottles. In fact, just glass bottles, green bottles, white bottles, normal bottles are thrown and put into a container. They go into a container, and that's being collected. Done by household citizens themselves as a small county, and then they put down all their stuff there, including books, sofa sets, electronic waste. It's all there, it's sorted there, and they come and bring it there, and it goes back to recycling. This is what I'm talking about, people. We need a culture shift in terms of people to say, can we do this? Can it be possible? Is it possible? How many of you agree that Kenyans can change their mindset? Or are they fixated on this? Can we change mindsets? Yes or no? I want to see hands up. How many hands up? It's just a good exercise also. Yeah, so everybody says, okay, we can. So I think this is where the question then comes in is, who's going to make it happen? KEBS, the industry, the people. I believe every one of you in this room. It's got to be wajibu wetu, not haki yetu. Haki yetu means my rights. I can throw it away and the council has to do this. Let's do wajibu wetu, which means my responsibility. If every one of us, and I'm saying this openly, if every one of us took it as my responsibility to say, I will not litter this, I will not throw it in the environment, and I will make sure I take care of it. Don't you think your neighbor's behavior will also change? Your compound, your people around you will change. Your house helps will change. Everybody will change and say, fine, I want to be compliant. Not like the taxation guys will say, fine, chapa, and then they have to pay tax. I think that's a different one. This one's got to be more by inspiration. Not motivation, not instigation, but by inspiration. And we can do it. So I'm just talking about the beverage excellence situation and saying, can we all come together? Like I said, collaboration on a front that says, let's tackle this. Whether some people call it menace, whether some people call it a pest or whatever, let's tackle this together, and yes, we can. I think that's an important thing for people, right? So planet, I think that would take care of the planet. If the people did this as a mindset, we could take care of the planet. If the planet and the people work together, can we not have positive partnerships? I know my time is up, but I think the issue around positive partnerships is about, can I talk to a competitor? All of us are competitors. All of us sitting here are showing our bottles, and my bottle's better than yours, da-da-da. But on this front, if we collaborate, can we rope in the government? Can we rope in the ministry? Can we rope in and say, guys, for the entire recycling industry, zero tax. And I'm openly saying the zero tax for the recycling industry. Now, if KRA was in the room, they'd say, shit, we need to throw him down and put him down because they want more taxes. Collectors, the guys who go and collect on the streets in towns, whatever, why would you charge them a cess from county to county? If you bring your recycled waste from Nakuru or from Kisumu into Nairobi, there's a cess at every post by counties. What is this for? Can we not remove that? So that, and this is something that you probably, we've got the PS representative of industry here, Miti. Right? We need to represent this to say, make this such that we become competitive in recycling. And yes, we've got UNEP here, we've got a lot of people here. Rather than say, ban, say, we're going to recycle. And let's take this as a mission. Would the industry cooperate? Can we see a show of hands? Would the industry cooperate? You guys wouldn't cooperate. Yeah, everybody would cooperate. So I'm just saying this, Madam Esther Ngari, and of course I didn't get your name, sir. Elijah, from representing the PS of Industry, Minister of Industry and IT, MITI, right? MITI, which we're going to plant on Monday. So I think, I think the key issue here is positive partnerships where we can work together, collaborate to make us competitive. What Joachim was talking about is we will keep on consuming. Kenyans will keep on consuming. We are 55 million people today. We'll go to 55. Every year we add 1 million more. So in 5 years we'll be 60 million. As we go along, consumption will not stop. The question is, who is going to be giving us that product that we consume? Is it going to be imported from China, India, or from Egypt, or from elsewhere? Right? Where are we going to bring that product in from? Why can't we do that local stuff here? We as a company, we're planning, and our partners are here, Bidkoro. We're looking at the fruit processing entire value chain, and we've got it all aligned. We can do it. Kenya's got some of the best fruits, and we could do that. But today as we speak, it's better not to do that because manufacturing in Kenya, and I'm saying this with due respect to government, manufacturing in Kenya today is not competitive. How many people agree with me? In fact, shut your plants down, get the product from Egypt. It's duty-free, it's tax-free, bring it in, just sell it in the market. You make more money, if that was the objective. So I'm just saying, this is where we need to reach out to government and say, let's form a solid partnership to say, make us as industry more competitive. Do not come and say excise, tax, 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 in order to curb consumption. It's not going to happen. So I'm just saying this is where we need to look at positive partnerships together, right? And if we do this, I can tell you one thing. I can say this openly. We operate in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. We do sustainability everywhere else. But Kenyan brain power, Kenyan human capital is second to none. We have the best human capital here. And I don't think, even if I speak in Uganda, I can say the same thing. I can. But I'm saying the point here is we've got the human capital, we've got the people. Let's not destroy what we've already built. This year has been the toughest year ever for industry. And the fact is that industry is being disregarded. Industry lobbies, industry discussions being disregarded. Can we have that happening now and say, guys, let's get on with it? Because we try and attract a lot of foreigners. Come here, come here, come here. Facades, mirages, they're not going to come. Because if they look at the local guys and say, oh, we're suffering, we're not growing, demand's not growing, you might just have a few people packing up. I'm told there's going to be a huge amount of people packing up in the next 6 months because they can't pay their loans. The interest rates are 24% per annum. The exchange rate has gone crazy. So I'm saying, when you look at this, we need to probably say, Wajibu wetu, let's do something. Let's see how to help it. That's where the industry needs to sit together. Excellence awards, yes, but at the same time, let's go and look at how to become excellent in competitiveness. Is it possible? Do we have the brain power? Do we have the firepower? Do we have the will? That's all we need. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. And before I go, I think just last one thing to say, that look, cheers to every one of you, right? Every one of you is dedicated to make sure your product is the best. You've got the best brand name, you've got the best reach, you've got the best market outlook. But cheers to all of you for being here, and just keep excelling and never end. Because it's a journey of excellence. It never stops. It never stop. Keep at it. And in the end, let's go out and look at ACFTA, Africa Continental Free Trade Area. As we speak today, we are not competitive in selling our products or beverages in our East African markets. Can we make ourselves more competitive? That's my plea to all our government leaders here, and say, fine, let's show that, because we can. I think the capital investments we've done, I think I can say it openly, even as a company, we have that. Probably Kenya has some of the best technical, most latest equipment installed in Kenya to make beverages. Would I be right in saying that? World class. And I think the processes, the manufacturing, human capital is second to none. Why are we then not competitive in our neighboring markets in ACFTA? Can we not do that? I rest my case. Thank you very much.